Hi guys, we're back on the air. Yay! Today's gonna be weird, as if none of the other ones are weird. Yeah, but today's gonna be weird because I really don't have that much to say. I just wanted to jump on and just give you guys a quick rundown of basically what it's like to be a vendor at the Supernatural conventions and this particular weekend for DCCon. So, and I am going to be giving away a $50 gift certificate to someone who has not yet won from me in the past 2 months. So, I see Jen Hightower's here, Carrie's here. Any other lurkers out there, just say hi. Yeah, and I am like so low energy today. It's not even funny because Adina's here. She's one of the peeps I was going to be talking about tonight. Adina was a huge part of DCCon for me this weekend. Wow. So basically what I did was on July 13th, I believe it was, my family and I embarked on a gigantic road trip. For me, it was a huge road trip. We were going to go see our son, which I haven't seen in over a year since we moved down to Tennessee. So we drove from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, all the way up to Jersey City, and we were there for about 10 days. And in those 10 days, it was insanity because we were trying to make as many family visits as we could and friend visits that we could and sightsee as much as we wanted to, just to soak in, what we left behind when we came down here. And my daughter is...
I'm looking for another blue glove.
She's looking for another blue glove. I can't help you with that right now. Okay? Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ask Papa.
If he has blue gloves?
Yeah, the blue gloves are in the bathroom, aren't they? Go, I'm on the air.
Okay. You mean?
I mean.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Hi. Okay, so anyway, we did this road trip, and in this road trip, it was so chaotic, and Amanda... Elise, if you're out there, I'm sorry. She lives in Parsippany, the same town where my son lives, and it was literally impossible for me to even get a chance to see her, or we didn't get to do like a lot of the things on our bucket list. And it's very unfortunate, so I'm really sorry about that. But we did get to spend a lot of good time with David and his fiance V, and that made me very, very happy. That was the most important thing there. And then on the way back home to Tennessee, I kind of made a pit stop at this little thing called DCCon. DC! Okay, so DCCon, we get there Thursday night, and I am halfway to insanity because I always feel like I never have enough things made for the convention. And it's not because I think, oh, I sell out of everything. I wish I had that problem. I don't. What it is, I want to make sure I have enough of a variety of designs. I always think that I need more, and I drove myself crazy, working into the wee hours of the early morning almost every night I was in Jersey. So getting to DC on Thursday, any con, when you get there on a Thursday night, except for Vegas, that's really like the registration night for a lot of people. And they only open up the vendor's room for the public for a few hours, but they open it up for a few hours before that so that people like me can set up, and it takes forever. So I'm flipping out, trying to set up my things, and nothing's going the way I wanted to. I have displays that are breaking on me. I had these great visions for how things were supposed to look, and what they wound up looking like were two completely different things. It was very stressful. But a lot of people came in and made me feel a little bit better about it. Things didn't... and I did get to meet a couple of friends. Mel Steele. I don't know if anybody knows Mel Steele out there. She was out there. I got to say hi to her. which is fun. And Adina was there. Things didn't really start rolling until Friday. Now, Friday, as soon as they opened that door, my adrenaline level is like up here. And masses of people walk into this room, and you're just, you know, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy, because it's almost like, how do you put it? I don't want to say it's a performance, because it's not. It's genuine, but you're constantly on. So if you're you know, if my butt's hurting me because I was sitting in the same position for too long, I can't like show that, you know. It got very, very chaotic. But somebody kind of wandered off into the vendor's room early on, and I'll give you a hint. He was on my show, and his name rhymes with have a spade. And that was so stupid, I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, Travis. Travis Aaron Wade walked into the vending room, and I know that sounds like the beginning to a joke or something, but it's true. He walked in, and he could not have been, I'm sorry.
I only found this.
She found a clear glove, not a blue glove.
I don't know where's the blue glove.
Okay. Go check the bathroom again. I don't know. Close the door. I'm on the air. Please.
Beep.
I will give you an update on whether or not Raven finds this blue glove.
Hey!
Live video. Love it. Oh, coffee. Oh my God, did I have coffee? So Travis walks into the vending room, and what I forgot to mention, which is very important, is the reason why this convention was so different than anything else I've ever done is because my entire family, well, not my entire family, because my oldest son was not there, but Jaden was there, Phoenix was there, Raven was there, my husband was there, Merrill. So Shmavis Shade, Adina, close, very close. Maybe like Blavis Blade, maybe. So I had everybody with me, and that was great in some ways and not so great. No, I mean, as a family, it was great to have everybody there and to have their support, especially when I wasn't feeling so good about how things were going and whatnot. This is becoming impossible.
I'm see if it's fair.
If your father keeps rubber gloves in his desk, then we have to have a whole other show. All right, out now, please.
There may be a blue glove in that.
As if I'm not doing this right now. Guys, I need you to go.
But Mom, I think
Raven?
I think it's in here.
It's not. There is nothing there. Go.
Maybe I have to use this.
Yeah, I think you have to settle for the clear glove. Oh my God.
All right. Hey, you're not nice to me.
So as I was saying about love and support for my children, I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just happened there. Oh my. Oh yeah, I know. I mean, I have a 27-year-old, so this is like I'm just reliving everything I've already gone through with him. All right. So anyway, Yes, so Travis walks in, and the first thing he does is he goes over to uh, I think they're called the Waitsters, and they were just so cool and really chill neighbors. I really, enjoyed hanging out with them. And he went over to them, and then he went over to um, some of the other tables. And then he came by, and he made a point of not only, coming over and saying hi, I got a big hug and a kiss, and then, he made a point of meeting all of my kids and my husband, and he couldn't have been cooler. I mean, it was just epic. I mean, he was just a fabulous human being. And I got to meet his sister, which was really nice, and she's a teacher. And so I have the utmost respect for that, as you all know. So not only did he come visit me, I had a couple of pieces for him. The Travis's empathy and Cole's intensity. So what does this man do? He freaking puts on one of the necklaces and he wears it on his videos, on his periscopes, and he wore it in all of his photo ops. So you will see Travis, if you see people posting their DCCon pics from the Travis photo ops, the necklace that he's wearing is Cole's intensity. Blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. Yeah, and then so that was Friday. I was like, what? Nothing else happened on Friday. I was just so blown away by that. But I did manage to miss Osric on Friday somehow because my table was literally right next to the door, the only door that was, the entrance to the vendor's room. And, I'm doing my thing, and then 10 minutes later, I hear, why didn't you say hi to Osric? I'm like, where the hell was he? I didn't see him. He did come by on Sunday. I did see him on Sunday. So something else happened on Friday, which was really bizarre. If anybody's come to see me at a convention, you know about the worm stashes, right? So what I do is I have a sign, a little sign that's a clip from, it's a screen cap of Misha doing the worm stash from the gag reel. And I have a plate, and I put some gummy worms on it, and it says free worm stashes. I've been doing that for years. All of a sudden, someone from Creation comes over to me, and they said, do you have a food license? And I'm thinking they're kidding. I said, I don't have a food license.
I have a question, Mom.
And she has a question. Yes?
Is this supposed to be yours or mine?
You may have that clear plastic glove.
Yay!
I am the best mother ever. Ever.
Thank you, Mom.
I gave my daughter a rubber glove.
I listened to you.
Okay, now get your butt out of here. Raven. Come on. Be gone.
Don't kick my butt. Ever again.
Close the door. Oh. No, they weren't yarn worms. They were gummy worms. Candy. Do you have a food license? Freaking gummy worms, right? So I'm like, no. She said, well, for your own protection, you should put those away because if someone eats it and they choke, they can sue you. It's a fucking gummy worm. I still laugh about it because, when people come to the convention, and that's part of what they expect to see from me, the gummy worms, the worm stashes, because I take pictures of the worm stashes, and I post them, and I have fun, and it's just some way to have fun at the table. Where are your worm stashes? Oh, well, Creation was afraid you were going to choke on them. I'm so glad that they thought about my well-being so much that, me getting sued because someone swallowed a gummy worm incorrectly. Because that's what happens, when you go to a restaurant and you eat something, you accidentally choke on it, you sue the restaurant because you didn't know how to chew your food, right? That's what happens. Yeah, so they nixed my worm stashes, but I'm determined. remove the stick. Oh, please. You know, that's exactly what I said. I said she has the biggest stick up her ass. I need some yarn worms now. That might be, but people like to eat them. And if I have yarn worms out there and then they eat them, they can sue me because they thought that they were edible gummy worms and they're yarn worms, and now I've destroyed their lives. And I might get sued. So, yeah, that's an option. I'm fucking determined to get my gummy worms back out there. If anybody has anything to say about it, I'm going to fight this to the end. I'm going to take it to the Capitol. So anyway, gummy worms, yeah, that was a downer, very down. And then there was Sunday. Sunday is, actually, no, I'm sorry. We're not going to Sunday yet. We're still going to stick with Saturday because I got to meet a couple of women that you may have heard of. Adina, sometimes. Adina wrote they're ridiculous sometimes. No, that's true. It is sometimes. They're generally very great, and I adore working at their conventions, and I really don't mean any ill will because I would like to continue to working at their conventions. Yay! Okay, so Saturday, there were a couple of women there. Was it freaking Saturday or Friday? Another thing that happens during the convention, I never know what the fuck day it is. The only day I know is for real, whatever day it is when Jensen and Jared are there, because that's Sunday. So anyway, I got to talk to the lovely Kim Rhodes for a minute. And, I've spoken to her in person before, but it's like she just is so intuitive, and she can read people like there's no one's business. And she and I talked for a minute about, my teaching debacle. And she was so genuine and supportive, and I just wanted to cry because she just made me feel so special, for lack of a better word. And I was watching how she was interacting with all of the other fans in front of me, and from what I could see, everybody walked away feeling like they were on top of the world because of that woman. And then I got a chance to talk to Brianna Buckmaster for a minute, too. Again, I have never met such incredible human beings in my life, and I cannot stress that enough. Brianna and Kim are goddesses, and I just, I just look forward to the day where they're going to be on stage at SPN, the ladies of SPNCon. We got to get them on there. We got to get the con going. And that's taking me off on another tangent that we will talk about another time because we have to start fundraising for this bitch, right? As ladies of SPNCon. So anyway, and also they took the time to meet all my kids too. Both Brianna and Kim, they met my kids. Did they meet Meryl? I think they did. I was so like, I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments in the chat window, and Jen and Rogue are saying, maybe Candy doesn't need a food license or hand out samples at farmers markets. Was it Gary? No, it wasn't Gary, Adina. It was this woman that I've seen maybe a handful of times in my life. I want to say her name was Monica? I'm not sure, but it wasn't Gary. And so anyway, so that was that. Now Sunday comes, and Sunday is Jensen's and Jared's day, as everybody knows. So that's when my nerves are shot to shit because I want to make sure I have enough Sam pieces ready. I want to make sure I have my Jensens and my Jareds and my Deans all perfect, because what if they come in? What if somebody comes in that needs to see these pieces? And I want to make sure that this is the most beautiful presentation and that it's making a good impression on everybody. And so This is pretty funny. So there was a vendor next to me, and her business is called House of Darkly. Very incredibly talented human being, and I got to enjoy her wares. Raven fell in love with this. I had to get this for her. Yeah, so it's houseofdarkly.com, and this is just a small sample of the amazing stuff she has going on back there. So anyway, I'm doing my thing at my table. She's directly next door to me. I have my head down. I'm doing my thing, and then I hear Jode. So I look up, and it's Merrill, and he's at the House of Darkly table, and he's going like this. Actually, like this, because he was pointing to someone very tall in front of him. Jared was there. He's going, oh. Yeah. So, and I apologize that I did not have a chance to really talk to this amazing young woman very much. I'm going to reach out to her to see if she would be up for an interview. But she apparently did some wonderful things that impressed Jared, and Jared came by to give her some beautiful souvenirs and to thank her in person for what she had done. I don't know the story around it at all. I apologize, but I will get there, and I would really like to interview her so that she can share her wonderful work with the world. So anyway, so Merrill came over to me. He's like, yes, I'm talking to this girl, and I feel a hand on my shoulder. And he said, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I really am. Can I just talk to her for a minute? And he said, Jody, I've never been speechless before. Merrill doesn't fangirl, but he did on Sunday. So it was so funny. So he says, yeah, so I'm talking to her, and Jared puts his hand on me and says, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I said, so wait, Sam interrupted? Get it? Sam interrupted. Get it? Merrill didn't get it because he didn't know the episode. But I thought I was freaking hilarious. But it felt like a fucking ton of bricks. So anyway, oh, she was behind the hall lights. Oh, okay. All right, so you know what? Thank you for telling me, because I definitely would love to interview her about that, because that really ties into what they always keep fighting for work that I'm doing too. Yeah, just Sam interrupted, man. Fucking thought it was awesome. And Merrill fangirled because he said, I just couldn't speak. He is so into being all Joe Cool around celebrities or actors or whatever, and he's it was funny. It was really funny. Another great thing about DCCon is the fact that I got to see so many amazing people. I got to see Colette. I got to see Adina. I got to see Mel Ciel. I got to see Jerry. And I know I've forgotten at least 1,000 people. Yeah, so, so from the vendor's perspective, I don't get a chance to really go out and go to the panels and to do much of anything, and if it weren't for my husband being there, I wouldn't even be able to eat. I mean, Adina did offer to fill in for my husband if he wasn't able to get me food. He was able to get me food, though, so that went well. But I'm typically at a convention, and I'm by myself working my table and Cliff's table. I don't get time to do much of anything. So, what I do is I enjoy meeting all the people that come to my table, because they get to tell me, oh, okay, well, in Mark's panel, he did this, he talked about that, they show me little videos. So in a way, I'm almost glad I don't get to go to the panels sometimes, because I really enjoy hearing what other people are saying, and the fact that they come over and they share their videos or they share their pictures and they're talking to me, and I feed off of that. I live vicariously through you guys, actually. it makes me feel closer to my customers, and I make friends. I mean, I've made my best friends through these supernatural conventions. Adina, my best friend Shannon, my girl Anna Marie, So that is really like the big message I wanted to put out there about, being a vendor at the cons, because like I said, I may not be able to get to go to, the panels. I may not get to participate in the trivia contests and all that, the costume contests and all that other fun stuff. But I do get to see all of you guys that come in to see me, and that to me is that's all I need. I just need to connect with you guys. It's fun. I make friends, and I just feel like those experiences are priceless, absolutely priceless. So, like I said, it's just my mouth blabbing tonight, so it's going to be a short show. Rogue, you were saying your husband wouldn't have, he wouldn't have gotten the joke? Yeah, it was just, Sam interrupted. I feel so great. And I also, of course, this is huge and important, I did get an opportunity to give Jared the booklet for the Always Keep Fighting campaign. Unfortunately, I only had a handful of people tweet pictures to me. So I only had, I think there were less than 20 of us that were in the booklet. But like I said, it's an ongoing project. So any pictures that I get between now and DCCon, that will be a new booklet that he gets. Could you recruit family to do NashCon? Oh, NashCon? Yeah, that's in my backyard practically, so that's going to be easy. So, yeah, it'll be a little easier. We'll see. Sam interrupted, better than Losechesters. Losechesters. I don't get that. NashCon. Yes, I'm really excited about NashCon. So I'm lined up for MinnesotaCon. I'm lined up for Vegas VanCon. Almost. Just have to dot some I's and cross some T's there. NashCon, that's a given. I mean, I'm doing pretty much every single one. The only one that I'm up in the air about is ShyCon, and that's because I have to make a decision about something. And it's the hardest freaking decision. So I'm not sure about ShyCon right now, but everything else I'm dead set. I'm gonna be there. So Losechesters was Jared's joke from San Diego Comic-Con. I didn't see the panels. So what is Losechesters? What did he say that for? That was horrible. He kept saying that they're the Winchesters. Oh, they're the Winchesters, not the Oh my God, that joke's almost as bad as Sam interrupted. Okay. So I'm trying to check my notes. Oh, Misha. But let me just explain Misha for a minute. So on Sunday, Mr. Collins goes walking around in the vendor's room. And the last time I'd spoken to him was in, I want to say it was Vegas. And I had told him, hey, I got approved to be an official fundraiser for Random Acts. And, I'm going to be doing sock monkey jewelry. And at that time, I didn't have any pieces ready. I only had a really crappy piece that I made Osric wear, and I took his picture wearing this hideous thing I made. And he was looking at it. It's like, Jody. I'm like, no, dude, I know it sucks. Just let me take a picture of you in it. So Misha is in the vendor's room on Sunday, and I wanted to show him some of the sock monkey jewelry I finally got to make. So I go over, I'm like, oh, here, look, I had 3 different pendants with me, and he takes them and he walks the fuck away. He walked away with my sock monkey jewelry. I had none left to sell. I just had those 3 pendants. I mean, I had barrettes and stuff, but, like, those are the only pieces of jewelry that I really had ready. and Misha walked away. What are you going to do? What am I going to do? You know, so I just hope that he enjoys his soft monkey pendants. Thank you, Misha. I just stood there like, yeah, that was a moment. That was quite a moment. And what I'm really looking for, oh wait, I have it. I didn't bring it in with me though. I wanted to show you guys my photo op. We all got the trio. We got Misha, Jensen, and Jared, and this was the only time that all of my kids, well, 3 of my kids and my husband were in the picture with me. And you know, my husband and his obsession with dressing up as Cyclops, right? So Misha is a paradigm shift. That's perfect. He is. I agree. So my husband had a picture of, you know, him in Cyclops. It was this picture, but a smaller version of it. And so what he had Jensen do is he said, Jensen, can you just put this in front of my face? Not my face, but my husband's face. And he was like, okay, sure, dude. So the result was pretty funny. All right, so I'm going to ask a quick trivia question. And if you've not won from me in the past 8 weeks, you are more than welcome to participate. And this is for a $50 gift certificate to my shop, which is applicable to all of the jewelry except for fundraising pieces. It does not is not applicable towards any of the bottles. And the question is, if you watched my interview with Travis last week, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, he spoke about an experiment that he had read up on, and it was very profound findings that he was talking about. If anybody can tell me a little bit about that experiment, if you can tell me what the experiment was, summarize the experiment, you will get a $50 gift certificate towards the jewelry in my shop. You're asking me if I'm on the Gishwaz team. Yes, I am. I'm on the Winged Warriors team with Carrie. Carrie's not feeling so well, so she may have jumped off. But yeah, I'm really excited. This is my first Gishwaz experience. I've not done a goddamn thing yet. I was supposed to make shirt and all so I've just the past 2 weeks have destroyed me. So people. I mean, and I'm just putting it out there, I know I am way behind in my orders, way behind. I mean, I have orders that came in before I left my road trip, and I have not yet finished them. So I am deeply, deeply sorry for all of the delays, and I appreciate everybody's patience with me. It was very, very stressful getting ready for a road trip and to see my son for the first time in a year, and you know, meet and spend time with him and his fiance and oh, Carrie, you're still here. Thanks for hanging in. I hope you're feeling okay. So, you know, like I was saying about my orders, so I really appreciate everybody's patience. I really do. I'm very sorry that it's taking so long. But they are happening. They are happening very soon. So I'm just waiting to see if someone can answer. Oh, you missed that part of the interview. I'm sorry, I can't give you the answer. It was a very profound experiment, and it was also it was done. This is something anybody, well, I can't say anybody can do, because I mean it's something we can execute, but to analyze it, you would need like high-tech stuff. So I will give everybody another 5 minutes to come up with the answer, and if not, I'll just give the answer. Because it is something worth talking about again. It was a very, very important message. Okay, you're allowed to guess about what it was about, but I need particulars also. You need to summarize the experiment. Um, I'm just gonna check my list to see if there's something I forgot to talk about. And I'm sorry, this is the most like disjointed episode ever. Um, I'm working on getting some more guests lined up, so it's just little old me. And I will be trying to get houseofdarkly.com on as well, so she can talk about the work that she did with the tea lights. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk about this really fast too. It was Brianna Buckmaster's first convention, and I had the chance to, pop into karaoke. Karaoke is the one thing I'm allowed to get into because it happens after the vendor's room is closed, so I'm not away from my table and missing sales and stuff like that. So she dressed up as like this, what do you call it? Like a 50s girl. She had the ponytail, the poodle skirt, and all that stuff. She was so funny and amazing on stage. Oh, Jen, I'm sorry. I know you won. You gotta. I can't do it. Okay. Rules is rules is rules. Not to sound like the worm stash lady, but. Oh my goodness. All right, so we have 2 minutes left. Oh, Brianna killed it. Yep, she did kill it at karaoke, right, Adina? I mean, she fucking tore up that stage. She is crazy funny. Crazy funny. And she's natural at everything she does. Everything. Bobby Soxer, is that it? I think that's it. Carrie, how long has it been since you've won? Has it been 8 weeks yet? If it's been 8 weeks, he talked a lot about shippers. Yeah, yes, he did. Let's see, one more minute. Na, 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 na. Yeah, so I'm trying so hard to. Okay, let me see. Oh, here's something that you guys don't know about what happens on Sundays. On Sundays, the vendor's room becomes like a vast wasteland because Jensen and Jared are here and they're doing their panels, they're doing their photo ops, and no one's in the vendor's room. You could hear crickets, basically. So what happens is it kind of brings out the insanity in all of us vendors. So what happens is we have been all of us have been stuck in a room for a weekend, and we're like totally on adrenaline the whole time, and then all of a sudden there's nobody in the room, so we start getting stupid. Like some vendors will get out, we'll just start singing, we'll get out and start like trading our stuff, like, I can't sell this for shit, but I really like that, we want to trade, and it's just really, really, really funny. And then all of a sudden someone will walk in and it's like back to your tables. It's like, when you turn the lights on and the roaches run. Not that you guys have roaches, not that I have roaches, but you understand what I mean. Okay, so unfortunately no one has gotten the answer. But for bragging rights, Jen, you may answer. You don't get the prize, but you may answer just for bragging rights. And it's something that's very important, and it's got such an incredible message. So if you want to put it out there in the chat window, and I'll read it out there for everybody, and we'll talk about that for a minute, and then we'll wrap it on up. So I know there's a delay, too, so that makes it awkward. Okay. cyberbullying. Rogue's talking about cyberbullying. It's created a real disconnect between inhibition and action. That's a very good point, because what happens is it's very easy to do whatever the hell you want behind a computer screen, and it also kind of blurs the line between fantasy and reality, right? Because you have all of these people that role play, or they don't understand boundaries, because you can get away with so much more online than you could face to face with somebody. All right, so Jen is writing that the experiment was talking negatively and positively to water, and it changed the flavor. Yeah, what happened was there was a room with a glass, and then there was another room with another glass. In one room, there was nothing but hate and negativity being directed at this glass of water. Negative energy just enveloped that glass of water. And then in the other room, there was nothing but positive energy infused with the water. Not infused, I shouldn't say that. They didn't do anything directly to the water. They didn't put anything in the water. It was the behavior around the water. People saying, loving things, acting kindly, being warm and friendly. And then what they did was they analyzed. Yes, it changed the color of the water. They analyzed the negative water, they analyzed the positive water, and there were distinct chemical changes to the water. He was talking about how the water that was positive formed beautiful crystals inside of it, like microscopic, like warm colors, and then the negative water had horrible toxins in them, actual toxins that Travis said could cause cancer. So in essence, your negative behavior is actually changing someone's health in a horrible way. So, the message, sorry, I got tongue-tied for a second, the message is really, you have to be accountable for your actions and understand the effect that your actions have on others. And the reason why we were talking about that during the interview was because he was talking about, I'm sorry, somebody had mentioned that they were talking about ships. There is such a huge need for drama in some ships, whatever. I don't feel comfortable even saying that word, because it's not something I actively participate in or anything like that. But and it changed the color. You're right, absolutely right, Rogue. What Travis was trying to say is, why can't we all just, not the cliche, why can't we all just get along, but why can't we all just respect each other for being who we are and allow people to have their own opinions? And Jen saying that she had heard about that experiment years ago. You see, I never heard it before Travis talked about it, and ever since then I talked about it with my kids, I talked about it with my husband, and it really makes you think twice about how you treat somebody. There was drama at DC. What'd you hear about in DC? Nothing that, I didn't hear anything, but yeah, I would never in a million years think to criticize somebody for what they like to read, what they like to think about, whatever. No, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the chat window. Yeah, I didn't notice any drama at all in DC, thankfully. And if any of you out there were subjected to it, I would really appreciate it if you could let me know. My email address is eldwin@yahoo.com, ELDWENNE.com. I'm sorry, @yahoo.com, because that's something that I really want to talk about in a future episode, and I would really like to get some feedback from people who have unfortunately experienced it, and from people who have made a difference in combating it and trying to combat it. Okay, so someone had Misha sign something that was not very nice. That's not anything I heard about. No idea. No idea. I'm glad I didn't hear about it. But yeah, so you actually listened to my face for 45 minutes. You guys, kudos to y'all. You listened to me far longer than I could put up with me. So for next week, I don't have anything set in stone yet, but I think I'm going to put somebody on the spot, Adina. I think I'm going to put Adina on the spot. Adina, what you doing next Tuesday night, baby? Okay. So, Adina, if you're interested in being interviewed on So Get This on Tuesday night, next Tuesday night, let me know, and we can make that happen because you do some really friggin' amazing things. Oh, you love my face. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. It's so sweet of you. Uh-oh. Yep, Adina. Uh-oh. It's a time. And Rogue says, Jody, do you really want me to tell you what I think about one ship? I don't know how to answer that. I think I'm afraid now. Go for it. Do it. Tell me what happened. Okay. Oh, so Adina's saying yes. Yay, 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 yay. Okay, so Adina will be my guest next week. Adina is a queen, and she's amazing. So I can't wait for... I'm looking at these comments, and here it's snirk. I never heard of snirk. That's awesome. So Adina will be our guest next week. I am so excited about that. And I know she's going to have plenty of amazing things to share with us because she is just like, I don't know how she finds the energy to do half the things that she does. Okay. All right. Rogue's talking about people shipping actors. All right. Well, here's the thing. You know, we all have our tastes. We all have things. We all have comfort levels. I don't think that it's fair to say people should or shouldn't. I think what it's fair to say is people should be respectful of what everybody else is saying. I mean, okay, so I've heard that there's this Jensen Jared thing. You know, people ship Jensen and Jared. It's fantasy. It's fantasy. When someone is being disrespectful and trying to, I don't know, like if you're saying that there are people who have Jensen and Jared do things in photo ops that are inappropriate or expect them to do things that are inappropriate because it's tied to something that they, you know, they're shipping or whatever. I mean, I guess then that's when, you know, a line has to be drawn. But I think for people should feel safe to express what they like, what they don't like. They should be respectful of the actors, especially knowing that, you know, Jensen, I think, is particularly sensitive to all of this, and to kind of rub his face in it is, I can understand something that you know, that needs to be, you know, you can't. It's wrong. It's disrespectful, and but I think if people are writing fanfic, so they write fanfic. Fanfic. So they write fanfic. You know, but you don't have to read it. That's how I feel about it. You know, I mean, there are books and blogs and essays and whatever on millions of topics that I'm sure many, you know, things make me uncomfortable, but I'm not going to say how dare you write something about that just because it's not something that I'm comfortable with. I fully believe in freedom of speech. I don't believe there should be an asterisk for freedom of speech, but I do believe there needs to be respect. What would happen if their spouses or family saw this stuff? Okay, so here's where it's going to get a little blurry. When you're in the spotlight, you're not asking for it, but you have to expect it. With that being said, if you're someone who's in the spotlight, you have to be a little more vigilant with what are your kids seeing online, what are your kids reading online, what are your kids hearing from their friends. It is what it is. And okay, so Jen's bringing up Wincest. Wow, this show's taken a whole new turn. We're going to be on for a bit. Okay, let's get started. All right, so Wincest. Of course, there are people. Of course, there are people. I mean, Wincest in itself, if you look at it as, it's incest between brothers, and that's socially unacceptable. It's against the law, blah, 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 blah. Of course. If someone wants to write fanfic about it, so what? If someone is sending Wincest fanfic to my children unsolicited, not that they would solicit that, but you get my point. That's a problem. It's the same. I don't know if I'm being articulate enough with it, but I honestly don't think any of us have a right to tell anybody what they can write about, what they should feel about certain things, and what they can talk about. And it's about respect, it's about boundaries, and I'm sorry, I'm just reading some comments in the chat window. I have a serious issue with Wincest. It gives me anxiety just thinking about it, but I do what it takes to not see it. People can ship it, but I will never talk to them, and that's fine, Jen. I completely agree with your take on it. That you don't have to read it, and you don't have to be friends with the people who write it or read it or support it. That's your choice. That's completely your choice. But I think to judge somebody or to be hateful to someone just because of what they read or because of what they write, I just don't think that's acceptable. I really think that that's something that it is totally against what the SPN family is all about. I think that there are so many amazing human beings in this fandom, and they choose to focus their creativity on something that you're not comfortable with, and that's their bag, not your bag. That's okay. I'm sure. I've got. Okay, here's something. Okay, I was approached on Tumblr by someone because I used Misha Collins' picture in some of my posts to promote my jewelry. I have the picture of him wearing my Castiel's Grace. Why would I not use it to promote my work, right? I was approached by someone in a private message on Twitter, on Tumblr. Could I please remove Misha's image because, she wants to reblog my post, but her followers have an issue with Misha. He's a trigger for them, and she didn't get into specifics, but I very blatantly said, I responded with, this is how I do my business. If you don't like Misha Collins, you don't have to look at my work. Simple as that. She respectfully asked. I respectfully declined. We weren't disrespectful to each other. We recognized that we had a conflict, and we just walked away from it. That's it. I don't judge her for what she asked me to do. She, I hope, doesn't judge me for not altering my creative process. And there, that's an example, right? And, okay, photo ops. I get it. And I see some photo ops that I'm really surprised make it to the light of day. There are some people that do go a little overboard, and I think they cross lines. And I think that because the photo ops happen so fast. I mean, any of you who've been in a photo op understand what it's like. You're online, and it's like I don't even know what the word is. Boom, 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 boom. They just shove you right through, and it happens instantly. So you don't have time to react. The actors really don't have time to react. They just do because they're on. And some of the pictures I've seen are so tasteless. For me, again, I think that my personal opinion is, I think if you're asking an actor to pull your pants down so that they can show you a tattoo on their ass, me personally, I think it's disrespectful. Am I going to go tell that person, hey, you know what, you're a real asshole? No, because they chose to do it. The actor chose to comply. I don't happen to like it. That's my problem, right? All right, so Carrie's saying, oh, I'm sorry, before Carrie, Adina had a comment too, and she wrote, you don't have to agree with everything the man says or does, but to outright dislike him or make him out to be a bad person, I don't get it. I don't either, and I think that, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, there must be some reason why, and, that's fine. I just move on, it's, I mean, the man does so many good things, but there might be things that he's done that have offended people. You can't make everybody happy, is the bottom line. You really can't. And Carrie wrote, I agree with you, Jody, not a Wincest fan either, but I will never hate against people who do like it. I view film as an art form there to be interpreted in many ways. They would do it anyway. Rogue is saying they would do it anyway. She's saying she doesn't hate anybody, she just doesn't understand. Excuse me. No, and that's fine. There's plenty of stuff. I mean, I don't understand why some people write about what they write about, or they think it's cool to pair two particular people together. Whatever. It is what it is. What it is. And I honestly, I'm sorry, I'm reading again. Carrie is saying, I'm open-minded to all views. I may not agree to all views, but I would never hate. Exactly. There was a person who had come to my table who said to me, we were talking for a minute, and it turns out that she is a Destiel fanfic writer she's pretty well known, actually, in the Destiel world. And I don't read it, but I have the utmost respect for people, and, what they choose to do with their creative energy is totally up to them. I didn't treat her any differently than I would anyone else, I mean, I wouldn't want somebody coming up to me saying, how dare you make a piece called, Dean's Revenge, I mean, we shouldn't have revenge, we should have peace and love and, unicorns. I've had that happen, actually. I have had people come up and argue with me about titles that I've used for my pieces, and basically I say to them what I'm saying right now is that who gives a shit? This is my creative process. This is how I express myself. And if yours differs, it differs. And agree to disagree, shalom, right? What, Crowley fanfic? Oh my god. I don't know what's going on in my chat window right now. I think it's got a life of its own. Oh my. Crowley fanfic. I guess that gives a whole new meaning to the misadventures of Squirrel and Crowley. I think I messed that up. But Adina wrote that she tries not to downplay anyone who creates something, even if I don't like it. They're still doing something. Like Mark Cohen said, the opposite of war isn't peace, it's creation. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I like that. And I think I heard unicorns fart rainbow. They do, don't they? All right. And so here's what we're going to do, because it's 8 o'clock for me. It's 9 o'clock for most of you, I believe. I would really, truly love to continue this conversation because it's obviously something that needs to happen. I mean, everybody feels very passionate about it and has very strong feelings. So next week, I'll be interviewing Adina. And then what I'd like to do for the following week, if I don't have a specific guest lined up, I would really like to take on this issue some more about the ships and the fanfic and everything else, because I think everybody's got so much great stuff to contribute to this conversation. So if everybody is cool with that, get your thoughts together on that, and in 2 weeks we will talk about that. I have to find that blue glove. My daughter will kill me if I don't find that blue glove. But I think the clear one made her happy, didn't it? Didn't she seem to be happy with the clear one? Right? I will have to buy her a blue glove. Who am I kidding? All right, guys. You have all been epic and amazing at sitting here listening to me, rattle off for an hour about everything under the sun and having no cohesive thoughts whatsoever. So, on that note, everybody please be kind to each other. I really appreciate you all watching again and look forward to me interrogating Adina. Interrogating. Yeah, I'm going to have to whip out the Iron Maiden. She hasn't bothered, I'm so enchanted with my chat window. I love it. I love everybody in it. Okay, guys. Well, everybody have a fantastic night. Thank you for hanging on and chatting with me, and I will talk to y'all next week when we interview Adina. Good night, y'all.